Pokemon isn't just a game, it's a global empire worth over $100 billion. That's bigger than Marvel, Star Wars, and even my favorite Hello Kitty. But what's the secret behind Pokemon's unstoppable success? How did it go from a tiny Game Boy game to a merchandise powerhouse that never stops printing money? Today, we're cracking the code behind Pokemon's billion-dollar business model. Let's dive deep into the strategy that turned a simple monster-catching game into an unstoppable money-making machine. Whether you're a casual fan or a die-hard trainer, the answer might surprise you. Back in 1996, Pokemon was almost a complete failure. Game Freak was a small, struggling company led by Satoshi Tajiri, and they poured everything into making Pokemon Red and Green for the Game Boy. But there was a huge problem. The Game Boy was old, and people thought it was dying. Many believed Pokemon had no chance of success, and even Nintendo wasn't sure if it would sell. Yet, a simple genius decision changed everything. It wasn't just about making a fun game, it was about creating an experience that demanded player interaction. Pokemon's survival hinged on one key element: social engagement. But then, a genius marketing move changed everything. Pokemon was designed around trading, with two different versions of the game, Red and Green, each with exclusive Pokemon. If you wanted to complete the Pokédex, you had to trade with a friend. This turned Pokemon into a social phenomenon overnight. Kids weren't just playing Pokemon, they were living it. It wasn't just about catching them all, but about connecting with others, making the game a cultural movement instead of just another RPG. That simple idea turned the Game Boy from outdated tech into a must-have device again. Pokemon wasn't just a game anymore, it became an experience that bonded friends together. Nintendo saw the potential immediately. They realized Pokemon wasn't just a game, it was a way to sell consoles. Every Pokemon release pushed millions of kids to buy a Game Boy, then a DS, then a Switch. Pokemon became a killer app, so you had to own a Nintendo console to play it. This ensured that Nintendo always had a steady flow of players, and in turn, loyal customers who would buy their hardware just to experience the next adventure. It wasn't just about selling games, it was about creating an entire community. Pokemon wasn't just a game, it was a gateway to an entire world of Nintendo exclusives. And the strategy worked. Pokemon wasn't just making money from games, it was driving hardware sales, keeping Nintendo at the top for decades. By making Pokemon exclusive to Nintendo, they ensured it remained one of the most profitable franchises in history. The bond between Pokemon and Nintendo became unbreakable, fueling both their successes. But Pokemon's success wasn't just about the games. The anime changed everything. When Pokemon hit TV scenes in 1997, it introduced a whole new audience to Pikachu, Ash, and Team Rocket. The anime wasn't just popular, it was a global event. Ash and Pikachu became global icons, making Pokemon more than just a game. It was a brand. The show kept kids hooked, even when they weren't playing, ensuring Pokemon stayed relevant for decades. And it didn't stop there. Movies, spin-offs, and Pokemon Go brought a new generation of fans. Whether you played the games or not, you knew about Pokemon, proving that its success wasn't just about gaming, but about creating lifelong memories. One of Pokemon's biggest secrets, nostalgia. Pokemon doesn't just sell to kids, it sells to adults who grew up with it. The moment someone hears a classic Pokemon theme, it's like stepping back into childhood. And that's powerful. Whether it's the anime, the games, or even just seeing a Pikachu plush in a store, the brand has a way of evoking nostalgia that keeps old fans coming back while attracting new ones. Every few years, Pokemon reinvents itself just enough to pull older fans back in. Pokemon Go's 2016 explosion proved that the franchise could still dominate the world, making $6 billion in revenue by tapping into nostalgia and modern tech. While other franchises constantly change, Pokemon stays simple yet addictive. The formula, catch, battle, trade, has barely changed in 25 years, and that's on purpose. While keeping mechanics familiar while making slight adjustments, Pokemon remains easy to pick up while still offering depth for hardcore players. This balance keeps the franchise from feeling outdated while still being instantly recognizable. Whether you're 6 or 60, you could pick up a Pokemon game and immediately understand it. Instead of overcomplicating things, Pokemon focuses on refining its strengths, making sure every new game feels fresh but familiar. Pokemon doesn't just make money from games, it makes billions from merchandise. Pokemon plushies, TCG cards, clothes, school supplies. If you can put Pikachu on it, it sells. Merchandise revenue has even outpaced game sales, proving that Pokemon is more than just a franchise, it's a lifestyle. Pokemon's marketing team understands how to create demand, ensuring there's always a new set of collectibles, exclusives, and collaborations to keep fans spending. Pokemon's billion-dollar success isn't just luck, it's a combination of nostalgia, smart marketing, exclusivity, and merchandise mastery. The brand isn't slowing down, and with every new generation, it only grows stronger. But what do you think? Will Pokemon stay on top forever, or is its biggest battle still ahead? Let me know in the comments below.
I'm really psyched to learn what our next adventure will be.